doctor from Sinel Specialist Family Hospital. We are talking medical questions to ask before getting into marriage. Abadia, Machovan, welcome, Doc.
Thank you.
Good to have you. This is a very important conversation. And when my producers said that this is what we were talking about, it's like, excellent, because for the many people out there who are getting into marriage, and even my guest who came earlier, when he heard this, what we're talking about, they're like, they're married people, they're like, yes, yes, please, this is very important. So how important is it to know certain medical, for the want of a better word, status of your partner before you get into marriage? How important is it?
I think it's very important because health can make or break marriages, basically. We've seen people, or we've seen marriages fall apart because there has been certain health conditions that have been hashed, okay, by either partners. So it's very important to actually talk about the health aspects of both parties. You get to set the right precedents for the marriage. Yeah.
Why do people not have that discussion before getting to marriage? I'm sure they talk about everything. I think the two things that I hear people do not talk about is the medical status and financial status. We don't really discuss finances, and because we love each other, we just want to be together. Why don't people really take that seriously?
No, I think largely the conversations had very late. I feel like people should have this conversation even before they get into each other. Exactly, because it's difficult to advise people who are in love. They literally do not hear anything. You get it? So I think it's important that this conversation is had right before you start getting into each other. Yeah, so...
When you say get into each other, what do you mean?
I mean...
Before you start liking each other?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Just want to be sure.
Yeah.
Now that,
right.
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. So what questions am I to ask my partner before I start dating? But isn't it weird that you're going to ask a person certain medical questions before you even start dating them?
I don't think it's weird because, like I said, these things come up eventually. You get to end apart from personal health histories, i.e., knowing your, let's say, retroviral status, knowing your hepatitis status. We have certain family trends. You get to that you need to let your partner know. For instance, trends of, let's say, hypertension, their chronic diseases, hypertension, diabetes. Then there's also the trends of let's say even epilepsy. You get it? All of these things are very important because, for instance, if you have hypertension, your partner also has hypertension, right? Your child has that combined susceptibility to actually get at a later point in life. You get it? So these things are
interesting,
very important things that need to be discussed right from the onset. Because what normally happens is that when you are into each other, what you now want to do is to micromanage things. Yes, and I think it's a lot of work. If you can spare yourself that extra work by having a conversation very early, I think it's the best way forward.
Beautiful. Let's talk about the general things to know medically. So you did mention diabetes. Did you say diabetes?
Yeah, diabetes.
So diabetes is one thing to know. This is a general one. Is that important? Diabetes is important?
So, I mean, those are more of diabetes. There are different subtypes of it. But generally, the chronic illnesses, for instance, I've managed people who at a very early age are dealing with very bad hypertension. You get to they are on a lot of medications to control their hypertension, and they are not the usual older people that would expect to see that condition in. You get, because there's a very strong family history of hypertension. For some of them, there's a very strong family history of cholesterol. You get, so all of these are very important things. I know the usual thing that people talk about is maybe retroviral status, like I said, STDs, you get, all of those things are important, but it goes really beyond some of these things. So let's say if your partner is clean, if you are clean, now, how's your family like? What diseases are prevalent in your family? These are also very important discussions that you can have. Yeah.
So that's what I want you to outline for us, Dr. Banahene.
Yeah.
So family history of any chronic diseases, you've mentioned
diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol.
Cholesterol?
Yes, or cholesterol disorders, let me put it like that. Okay. Then you have any seizure disorders.
Okay.
Do you get it? And even the psychiatric history. Do you get it? Is there a particular psychiatric illness that runs in your family line? Do you get all of those things are very important?
You know, in relationships, like you're saying, when people are in love, is a different thing. For if you're dating a person and they may tell you that, oh, my family is okay, we're okay. How do you go beyond what the person has told you to find out for yourself whether or not can it be done in the hospital? Can it be checked? Can you take the? Would you know? Is it possible? Or you have to go and ask questions in the family?
I think you have to ask questions, really. And for any well-meaning couple, I think one of the things that they want to ground their relationship on is truth, right? So, I mean, for some of these things, you just need to ask your partner. The problem is that people don't ask at all. But then if you ask, I'm very sure that your partner would tell you that, okay, let's say their dad is on, let's say, antihypertensives, or in their family, they usually get stroke, in their family, usually get certain neurological illnesses. Yeah.
Is it true that some people forge medical documents, just so they can marry a particular person? Have you ever heard of any?
Well, people forge documents all the time, but I can't really say that I know of any situation where someone forged a medical document from, let's say, a credible source. You get, because it's the source that is signatory to the document that really speaks to the veracity of the document. As far as I'm concerned, if they are forging it, it means that like they are appealing to illegitimate authorities. For example, let's say you just ask someone to just sign or impersonate a doctor. As for that, I know there are lots of that going around, but from credible sources, it's hard. I doubt it, yeah.
Okay. I really, really want you to reiterate the conditions you mentioned so that we don't also break people's relationships. Somebody goes to ask their partner right now, oh, I was watching the afternoon show and Dr. Banahine said that, it becomes a whole different thing. So did you mention high blood pressure? No?
Yeah, I mentioned high blood pressure.
High blood pressure is there.
Yeah.
Apart from the regular ones, the STDs.
So they have I think the very common one
sickling?
is the sickling,
yeah.
exactly. So for a number of people, the sickling is like a very non-specific test. It just would let you know that you don't have the sickling genotype, right? But there are very specific tests. That's the HB electrophoresis. And what that does is that it actually tells you what is there. So the sickling will tell you what is not there, but that's not enough. So for instance, you can take the sickling test and it will come out negative, right? It does not necessarily mean you're AA. You get it? You could be AC.
Okay.
You get it? So if you're AC and let's say you're getting married to someone who's like AS, right? After the permutations, okay, there's a possibility of having an SC. You get a genotype, and that SC genotype is also like a form of sickle cell disease. Yeah.
Okay. Whew. And in the case where, what would be your advice, honestly? In the case where it's too late, like you said, people are in love, they've gone beyond whatever has to be done, and they're in the marriage. I mean, you are no pastor or you're no authority to say that, but would you advise that in the case where you find out that, oh, my partner has this condition and this condition, and they didn't reveal it to me, what would be your advice to anyone in that particular situation?
I think it's more of what you can deal with, really. It's essentially boils down to that. Because most of the diseases, there are other like lifestyle iterations that affect how bad it's going to be. So it's about, okay, can you live with this? Okay, so if you feel like you can live with it, if you feel like you can manage it properly, then you can go ahead. But it's imperative that you undergo some form of counseling to understand the full scope of what you are going into. Do you get it? So really, like I said, it's really about how you actually like being honest with yourself. Can you deal with this? Do you get? Would you want your child to go through this? Would you want this trait to be something that your family would want to go through? You get it? So I mean, all of those things are things that I would say would or should be factored in when it comes to deciding whether or not to go forward with it or to retreat. I cannot give a blanket answer by saying that, okay, you need to retreat. There are other factors that really go into relationships or like associations and stuff like that. Yeah.
Does blood type matter?
Yes, it does.
Blood type matters?
Blood type?
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't
not
really matter,
necessarily.
right?
Yeah. When you mean blood type,
So
are
I'm
you
talking about a B positive, an A minus, or those ones.
So, in pregnancies, okay, the rhesus status of the baby is important. When there's that disparity, okay, we have certain incompatibility stuff that happens that can predispose the child to the blood of the child actually like fighting against itself and stuff like that. But really, it's not one of the things that we usually talk much about. There are a lot of glaring ones that we can start with or we can deal with before we get to those ones. But I think those are like very little things, and we have certain interventions that can keep some of these things at bay. Yeah.
All right. And lastly, for me, where should this conversation begin? Should it really be between the couples, or do you think the church or religious institutions who counsel, who help people come together, have a responsibility to play?
Yeah, so the church does have a responsibility to play.
Not just the church, but say
interested groups, let me put it like that. But most often than not, before they are let in on relationships, okay, it would have gotten to an advanced stage where, let's say, they are planning on settling or they are planning on getting married. You get it? So at that particular point in time, a lot of emotional ties would have been set in place, exactly. So it makes it difficult for them to actually listen to the church. But so right from the start, okay, if we do more of the preventive, where, let's say, February 14th, okay, church service, they talk about these things. Before you actually decide to date somebody, you need to consider some of these things. It would go a long way, you get, because if you know that this person has something that you do not want to have or you do not want to live with, it's just like a no-go area. You don't like delve, you don't indulge. Exactly. So I feel like it should come at the point where people are starting to get to know each other, rather than at the point where they have decided that, okay,
you have known each other.
exactly, and they want to marry, because I think marriage is like a very big feat for a lot of people. Before they actually get to that stage, they've gone through a lot of like barriers. Do you get it? Like social barriers, mental barriers, actually get to the point where they want to settle. You understand? So when it gets there, it's very difficult for them to listen to whatever thing that you have to. They always try to, or they always want to find a way around it. Yes, sometimes there are ways around it, but really, it all boils down to, do you really want to live with this?
Beautiful. Do you want to, or do you really want to live with this? Dr. Louise Banahene is advising. I guess what they say about love not being enough works here.
Yeah.
After love, ask questions. What is your partner's medical status or history?
Before love.
Before love comes. So before love, not after love. After love is trouble. But all right. Thank you very much, Dr. Louise Banahene from Sinel Specialist Family Hospital. Thank you. Any last words before you? You want to say something?
So, I mean, this month we are, doing counseling for couples, and also running tests for individuals who want to more or less like know certain things about their health before they go into certain major commitments. So if, let's say, they have any questions, they have any concerns, okay, they could just get in touch with us. We are offering like free advice.
Free counsel.
Yeah.
Okay. Where? How?
Yeah, so we can give you our number after the...
You have a social media handle?
Yes, we do.
What's your social media handle, please?
So for Instagram, it's Sinel Hospital.
Okay.
Yes. Then, so you can contact us like on Instagram, and we are very interactive on that platform.
I will contact you soon.